next set of questions regards Scripture and how we can learn about mental health from Scripture, or if that is a good strategy. Dr. Raj, we'll point this first question to you, sir. Many people, including non-Christians, turn to the Bible for help and advice on a variety of issues. Do you think that is mental health one of them? Have you found instances in Scripture where there are helpful verses that discuss mental health, or and if so, what do they say?
Garrett, it's going to be it's going to be yes and no. Let me explain the no first. Bible does not talk about mental health by exclusively using the clinical terminologies or a diagnostic labels. It doesn't say here is a depression and here is a 5 symptoms. Here is anxiety, bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia. So because Bible is not a diagnostic manual or a psychiatric textbook, so we cannot expect that to happen there. Or it doesn't neither it doesn't tell us which medicine to take, which kind of counseling to use. But Bible talks about mental health. I'm coming to the next answer. Yes, Bible talks about mental health, but when it talks about mental health under the the generic category of heart, it talks about, as I was telling earlier, it talks about us as a person. So it doesn't compartmentalize our mind and say here is a mind, here is a brain, but rather it gives a very robust view of connecting our heart to the body and society and family. So it gives us a little, it's like you are putting extra lenses in your binocular, or just seeing more clearly. So it talks about in clarity, in length, about interpersonal, intrapersonal, the body related weakness, how they influence our heart and our emotions. Our heart is a seat where emotions and feelings and volitions are all coming out. So in that way, yes, it talks about mental health in a detailed way, and it gives us importance to human emotions. I'm very just taken up by Psalms. I use Psalms in my counseling every day, and I see the Psalms is the third largest book by word count, and the third largest book in the Bible has given so much space for human emotions. And here is David, the psalmist, is telling he's lonely, he's happy, he's struggling with the trust, he's losing hope. So the heart, feelings, everything is captured. Just for a time's sake, I'm going to just talk about few psalms and show how the psalms are capturing our emotions and our feelings. Here is Psalm 143. Okay, and let's see some verse 4. It says, "My spirit grows faint within me. My heart within me is dismayed." And then he says, I'm thirsty, and he's talking, answer me quickly. I'm it's a kind of anxiety. I cannot just wait for a long time. And then Psalm 77, I have read Psalm 77 with many patience. When I was in distress, I sought the Lord. At night, I stretched out, my hands. And imagine a man whole night stretching out his hand without being comforted. For me, that's looks like a person who is struggling with anxiety and depression. But it doesn't tell. Here is David. He's anxious or depressed. But on the other side, he talks about, I'm groaning, my spirit is faint. What he's telling, I'm tired, my eyes, I'm unable to sleep, there is a sleep disturbance. In another place, actually, David says, my bones are dry. They're like a physiological symptoms. So Bible does not just say here is a mind, here is a symptom, but it expands, takes it and expands to connect our body and mind. Okay, and we are all going through grief nowadays. I read Psalm 88 with few of the COVID 19, the second wave. Some of my friends, it says, you have taken from me my closest friends. Even grief is addressed there, and I can find my story, my struggle in Scripture. That's the beauty of finding ourselves. My story is there. Then, not only that, many years ago, when I was doing psychiatry, I was reading cognitive behavior therapy. At the same time, I was reading Psalm 139. I was really stunned by the way Scripture came to me. It was so clear that here is a clear view of how I can analyze my automatic thoughts. I'm just reading last two verses of Psalm 139. Again, I have read this verse with many of my clients who struggle with anxiety, to help them to invite God to search their heart. It says, search me, O God, and know my heart. Search me and know my anxious thoughts. He's very clear here. He talks about God coming to search his thoughts. So kind of how do we understand overall? Bible talks about our suffering in a mental health in a broader category of suffering, and it's a very comprehensive understanding. It talks about the personal God and to our personal brokenness, and there is a personal word, and there is a personal communication. We are talking to God, God is talking to us, and then inviting us to talk to others. So there is a lot of things are packed here. I can go on to find this it's just like a mining experience. As you read every day, you see this amazing scripture comes alive to us to talk about our suffering and mental health in that.